Here you go, back when Dodge made real American trucks, heavy duty. Take it down to the car wash, get a wax job, she'll be as good as new. Still has the original tires, and how they're staying inflated is beyond me. Guess you could say the same thing about the rears. Well, you might have to clean out the interior just a bit, but hey, plenty of firewood for the winter. 69,000 original miles, just like advertised, I think. Or is that 369,000? I would tell you that new Dodge Rams are far better than the older ones, but I'm not supposed to use the word Dodge and Ram in the same sentence anymore because Ram is now a separate brand like Jeep. If I mention Dodge, I get nasty emails from the Chrysler Corporation. So we'll start over and do it this way. This is the new redesigned 2019 Ram pickup truck. Lots of improvements that we'll be discussing real soon. The list of changes they made for 2019 is way too long. I will not cover them all, but I will give you a quick review of the most important ones. We have a much stronger and stiffer frame and body structure. In spite of that, they managed to shave off around 225 pounds overall. They made a lot of aerodynamic changes to decrease wind resistance on the freeway. Lots of cladding underneath, the slant of the windshield, etc. So your fuel economy on the highway should be better. The rear coil suspension gives the Ram one of the smoothest rides in the industry. They made some improvements to make it even smoother. There are three engine choices. The 305 horsepower V6 is still the base engine. It has a mild hybrid system which increases torque 90 pounds-feet. Number 2 is the base 5.7 Hemi with 395 horsepower as seen here. And third, there's a 5.7 Hemi which has the hybrid system which adds 130 foot-pounds of torque, which we were not able to get because this is an early production model. Maximum towing is listed at 12,750 pounds. Payload in the bed, 2,300 pounds max. There is an air suspension available as an option, but we did not get that either. Really don't need it. They've done a great job improving the cabin, although we're cheating here because they have the upgraded Laramie LongHorn edition. According to the Chrysler reps, this has more leather than any full-size pickup on the market. I believe it. Wood trim that looks like real wood compared to other wood trims that look like plastic. This is good looking stuff. And the LongHorn emblem, so all your buddies will know you forked up extra money for a top-class ride. If you've ever been in a Ford King Ranch package, this is what they're trying to compete with. The base price of a Ram starts around $32,000, but as you can imagine, the LongHorn jacks this up just a wee bit. $53,695 to be exact, but wait, there's more. Let's go over the options. I won't read it. You can just look at it. Starting with the small stuff. And more, and more, and more, and more. Whoops. There you go. If you had the air suspension we didn't get and the hybrid V8 we didn't get, you'd be up to around 70,000 bucks, I'm told. Then you have everything. One of the first things we do when we get a vehicle is take the headlights out and say they perform in the dark. So let's do that. It's dark enough. Let's take these headlights out and see what they do. Here we have the low beams on a wall 100 feet away. Bright light. Tall height, but this is a tall truck. You would expect that. Go to high beam. Plenty of light for me. As long as we're in the dark, we might as well look at the camera system. 360 degrees over here from the roof. Backup camera here. Unless you want the backup camera by itself, then you press the magic button. Here we have the bright setting on a building 300 feet away. Very bright, good widespread. No complaints here. Go to low beam. Barely reaches out, but it does. I don't think there are going to be any complaints about these headlights with anybody. Very nice. As a bonus, we get curb lights. You turn the steering wheel to the right, the lights go to the right. You turn to the left, the lights go to the left. Great for parking lots or going off-roading and seeing those rocks you don't want to hit. Turn the wheel straight, turn the wheel. Pretty good idea. Maybe you can see it better with the mirrors retracted. There we go. Whether you like Chrysler products or don't, you still have to admit the 5.7 Hemi is one of the best engines out there. Smooth, quiet, reliable, decent economy. And when put in this heavy truck, still relatively quick. This has the 391 rear axle, so we're going to get a bit of extra lift here. Ooh yeah. This thing is not a dog. The hybrid can only be quicker. Perfect brakes. This electric steering doesn't have the feedback I like, but it's still quick, responsive, and light, so I think most people will be satisfied. I've been driving this for several days, and once again, one of the smoothest rides you get in any pickup truck. We're going to take some speed bumps at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Ooh, that was a nasty pothole. Speed bump number 1. Just glides right over. Don't feel a thing. Number 2. Didn't you hear it? Number 3. Here comes the nasty one. Very smooth. Very impressive. Around the corner, we've got a super nasty speed bump. That would tear the suspension off other vehicles. Before we get on the road and start doing some real driving, let's take a quick look at the cabin. Very nice gauge cluster here. Lots of useful information. Lots of storage, a decent sized glove box. Another one above. The secret compartment for keeping all your cash and gold. A huge console in the center. If you get the Laramie package, you get these cute little saddle bags on the rear seat. Aw, isn't that nice? More storage on the outside of the bed. And the most important feature of any truck, we just can't live without the panorama sunroof. There you go. I don't know what we're looking at through all this glass, but there's plenty of room to do so. Since this was the deluxe model, we have buttons for any driving condition. Two-wheel drive for the street, four-wheel drive high for off-road, four-wheel drive low for off-road, and four-wheel drive automatic for the street, like rain and snow pavement. And this is the shift knob for the 8-speed ZF automatic transmission, which I like far better than having a stick down on the console taking up all that space. One item of controversy is this gigantic screen in the middle here. Call it the infotainment system, navigation system, whatever you want to label it. It does an awful lot of stuff, which can be an advantage or disadvantage, depending on your perception. On the positive side, if you like navigation, you'll like this, the super big screen. And if you're one of those computer nerd millennials, you like all the things this will do. However, even the simplest item requires a lot of finger touching here. Take, for example, this auto-dimming mirror. When I'm driving in heavy city traffic at night, I don't want it on, I want it off. I want to see what's beside me and in back of me. So most vehicles have a button you simply press, you turn it off. Here, not so much. You have to check the app button, you have to check the control button, then you have to press the mirror button, then you go back to your radio button. If you want to change it back, you have to check the app, the controls, the mirror. Why go through all this? I mean, come on. Simple button on the mirror would do. Same thing with these retractable steps. On most vehicles, you have a button on the dash to raise them or lower them. But again, you have to go to controls, you have to do this. Then you have to go back to the radio. Why all this work? Same thing with the passenger heated seats, the driver's vents, travel link, heated wheel. It's fun to play with. The problem I see with these screen setups is when you're down here looking at that, your eyes are not up here looking at this, traffic. That's why I like simple knobs. You reach down, turn what you want. Don't have to take your eyes off the road. These large screens with all these functions are becoming very popular on vehicles nowadays. As for myself, I don't like them. I don't want them. If I was going to purchase a RAM myself, I'd just get the simpler base RAM with the simple controls. But that's me. Hey, if you like this stuff, knock yourself out. It's available. It's all a matter of personal choice. In the meantime, for the rest of this video, we're going to do driving. No more show and tell. And we'll see if we can get this 15 city, 21 highway they're claiming with a 17 overall. And since we have all these four-wheel drive options as well as axle lock, we will be taking this off pavement for a while. I've been driving this for several days, 14.2 in mixed commuting. We're going to reset the computer and do some highway driving next. Like so. So far I've been driving on the expressway, which averages around 65 miles per hour. And we're getting some pretty nice figures on the computer. We just completed about 100 miles of freeway driving at a minimum 75 miles per hour. We're going to pull over and see what our fuel economy figures are. We were getting 18 miles to the gallon, but going on an upgrade, dropped to 16.6, not bad. More to come. We're going to take this rig off-road, have some ranch patrolling to do, see how the suspension does on these nasty dirt trails. And the first thing we want to do is press the magic button and get these mirrors retracted, just in case we hit a tree. Of course, we're not going to do that, right? This is a nasty washboarded road that can tear up the suspension on cheapy SUVs, but this Dodge, I was supposed to say Dodge, this Ram truck is doing a great job absorbing the impacts. I'm very impressed. Very smooth, very quiet. I can't believe how smooth this truck rides in all these potholes and nasty roads. Again, I'm very impressed. But I got to stop by and say hello to my boys. Fido, here boy. Come here boy. Get over here. Well, it looks like they escaped out of the pen. We're going to go round them up. So I have to pause this video for a while. Yeehaw! I see the illegal border crossers have been making themselves at home in my spots. Oh well, as long as they pick up their mess. And they still have good taste in beer. But it's getting dark, time to get back on the freeway and do more fuel economy testing. So off we go. As the sun is setting out here in the Wild West, I'm sorry we can do more four-wheeling on the video, but they want this vehicle back in mint condition. It's only on the show circuit, a lot of people looking at it. so can't do it. We will be going back on the freeway to do more fuel economy testing. We're going to do that right now. So don't go away. We're going to reset the MPG gauge to 0 and hit the freeway. Like so. We just racked up with another 100 miles of freeway driving. We're going to pull over and see what our fuel economy figure is. Our second highway trip, 18.6 mpg. Compare that to their first highway trip at 16.6 mpg. Add it up, divide by 2. I think my math is correct if we average 17.6 mpg. Not bad for a heavy truck like this. For the past 6 days, I've racked up 360 miles, averaging 15.5 mpg. Still have lots of fuel in the tank, thanks to the 33-gallon capacity. And I think it's time to wrap up this video. If I was buying a Ram, and I would if I needed a truck, I think I'd get the more basic model without all the fluff. I don't need all these gadgets myself. But whether you get the basic Ram or the fully loaded Ram, they've made a lot of improvements for 2019, and this is a very nice truck. If you're looking for a full-size rig, it's definitely worth a look. So here's a link to other vehicles we've tested. Just click and watch.